So I'm down here strategizing on what I'm going to be doing tomorrow or the next day. It's always something. There's Jupiter. There's the moon. And Saturn's over here now. I don't know if I'm getting it. Might have brightened it too much. But yeah. So Saturn's up here now. It's no longer where it was next to it because it keeps falling back and it keeps creeping closer to that one. Not physical sense, but I'm sure everybody knows. So I'm going to grab my scope real quick. Let this come up for a minute. Down on the ground, I get this effect. It's weird. I don't get that effect up on the roof. I think it's because there's so much wind. That's the trade-off. Either get a shaky picture or I get like a underwater looking moon, which is not underwater. It's the way that the steam's coming up off the ground out here because the next door neighbor watered, we watered, so a lot of water vapor. Past couple mornings everything's been wet. Ground has been like a dew. I think even the one I did at 7 something in the morning, you could see the steam in the trees around the treetops, like the vapors. See how this thing's pulling up and to the right, and then it'll set down and to the right. And what's funny is nobody really believes this, but this little white dot at the 9 o'clock position will not be there when it sets. It'll be in a totally different clockwise rotation. You'll probably see it up by the 10 to 12 o'clock position probably. Might even see it at the 2 o'clock position. But probably anywhere from the, I would say the 10, 11 to 1. Probably like 11 to 1 o'clock position. If you're looking at the moon as a face of a clock, there's a white spot on the left where it's not fully full. That right there will be up by the anywhere from the 11 to a 1 o'clock position by the time this thing goes down. So let's take a look at Jupiter. Maybe we can find it real quick. Shouldn't be that hard. All right. There it is. There it is. You can see these little moons, these little bright things up at the 2 o'clock position out. And then there's one down at the 7, 8 o'clock position. Oh, wow. Wow, that's crazy. See the moon on the right? And then there's one down on the left. There's more than just those two. I forget their names. I don't like the way it's doing that though. It just needs a different focus. Shouldn't though. There it is. You can see it. All right, now let's move on to Saturn. This is how I find it on the viewfinder. That's Saturn now. Get this focused in. Alrighty then. There's Saturn. It seems like you can see it. It's in an angle too. It's the same thing. 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock. The ring. It's in a sideways. I always remember it horizontally, like it was ecliptic. Almost like we've tilted. And everything is different. All the constellations different. Everything appears different. Hasn't moved. It's like they come up, but they're like the wrong seasons. We're not supposed to be seeing Orion until winter. Like, you know, the story goes of the winter hunter. I don't know. I know what I remember. This is Saturn. And then we'll throw back over to the moon real quick before it gets out of view. Oh, I'm gonna have to move over just a skosh. I'll probably get the wire now. There we go. It's my power line. I don't see it making no shadow. I see a blur from it trying to focus on one and the other. So that's going to do it. Don't know why it's doing that. There you go. Let's dim this down. There you go. Let's come over here. Go up. And there you go. Saturn. All right. So Saturn's up there. Moon and Jupiter. Peace out. Okay, so now it's October 8th, 2022. It is 12:38 in the evening. So, just to show perspective, I might want to walk out a little bit more. Just a couple steps. All right. Barn facing west where the sun sets. This is the south side of my barn. Now I'm facing due south. There's Jupiter, but I was going that way. I don't know if it'll show it. Let's see. My light will help. Alright, it's not helping much. Anyway. Jupiter. Focus. Moon. I can go over here. Here's Saturn. That's a plane. All right, let's get this. Okay, so I was talking about earlier how it was a white spot. It was at the 9 o'clock position. It would be around the 10, 11 to 1 o'clock. Well, I was correct. And we're just past midnight, like 12:30 something. So it's still, it's about at like the 1:30 in the afternoon position in the sky. But it's almost following the same path as the sun now. It's now swung south, but it's working its way back north. So let's check out. Jupiter real quick. Should be able to get it. There it is. Oh man. And its little system is sideways. A little sideways. See how its moons are sticking out? It is turned clockwise from the way it was earlier. So, okay. So everything's just doing spinning cartwheels, or are we just, our wobbles tilted to where we're sideways? Because when I looked at this earlier, it was the moons were different. I'm level. So, trying to get Saturn. There's Saturn. Now look at the pinches. The pinches are almost opposite. They flipped. It's just moving along. All right, back to the moon. Took me a moment. Snap this one up. Almost forgot. Oh, too much over there. Still not full, but that white dot, that mark, crater, whatever it is, it was at the 9 o'clock. It's no longer. It's twirling. Peace out.